Saving money effectively is rarely about discovering a clever trick or cutting one dramatic expense. The financial books that actually work all point to the same uncomfortable truth. Saving is a behavioral system, not a moment of discipline. People do not fail to save because they are careless or irresponsible. They fail because their environment, habits, and expectations are designed to consume first and save later. The books that change this outcome do not shame readers into frugality. They quietly rewire how money flows through life. One of the most consistent strategies across effective financial books is paying yourself first. The richest man in Babylon introduced this idea centuries ago in story form, yet it remains one of the most powerful saving strategies ever written. The insight is simple. If saving is optional, it will be skipped. If saving happens first before spending decisions begin, it becomes inevitable. The book teaches that saving is not what you do with leftovers, but what you protect before desire gets involved. This single shift turns saving from a willpower battle into a structural certainty. The psychology of money reinforces this strategy by explaining why delayed saving almost always fails. Humans are wired to prioritize the present over the future. How Cell shows that effective savers do not fight this instinct head-on. They work around it. Automation default behaviors and low-friction systems remove the need to make the right choice repeatedly. Saving works when it happens quietly, without daily negotiation. The best savers are not more disciplined. They are less exposed to temptation. Another powerful book-based strategy is defining enough. In your money or your life, saving becomes effective only after people decide what they are saving for and when they can stop chasing more. Without a definition of enough saving, feels endless and unsatisfying. The book teaches that once people know their real needs, saving accelerates naturally because unnecessary spending loses emotional power. Saving is no longer deprivation. It is alignment. Money stops leaking into areas that do not meaningfully improve life. The Millionaire Next Door offers a different, but equally effective saving lesson. Live below your means, long after you can afford not to. The book's research shows that most wealthy households save aggressively, not during hardship, but during success. As income rises, they lock in modest lifestyles and allow the gap to widen. This gap becomes the engine of wealth. Effective saving in this framework is not reactive. It is preemptive. You decide in advance that raises, bonuses, and windfalls belong to your future, not your present. Another strategy emphasized across books is reducing lifestyle pressure before optimizing savings rates. Many people try to save more without changing the context of their spending. Books like I Will Teach You to Be Rich point out that this often fails. Instead of cutting dozens of small pleasures, effective savers focus on big structural expenses, housing, transportation, recurring subscriptions, and debt payments. Lowering these costs permanently makes saving easier without daily sacrifice. The result is consistency, which matters far more than intensity. A subtle but powerful lesson from financial books is that saving improves dramatically when it is framed as self-trust, not restriction. Budgets, savings goals, and automation work best when they create confidence. When people know their bills are covered, emergencies are funded, and the future is being handled, spending becomes calmer. Panic buying impulse purchases and emotional spending decrease. Saving succeeds because anxiety is reduced, not because discipline is increased. Part 1 shows that effective saving strategies from books all share one principle: remove decision-making from the moment of temptation. Saving works when it is designed into the system of your life, not when it relies on strength of character in a consumer-driven world. And it is exactly here, when saving is understood as a structural choice, rather than a moral one, that the deeper lessons begin to emerge, because the real challenge is not saving money for a month, but maintaining saving behavior across years. As income grows, habits evolve, and life becomes more complex. And this is where the story naturally continues into its second half, because saving money does not fail in the beginning. It fails later when life becomes comfortable, income increases, and urgency fades. Part 2 is about durability. It explains how the best financial books teach people to keep saving, not just during hardship, but during success, when discipline is hardest to maintain, and most people quietly slip backward. One of the most important long-term lessons from financial books is that saving must scale automatically with income. Many people save diligently at low income, and then stall when they earn more. Books like The Millionaire Next Door and I Will Teach You to Be Rich emphasize increasing savings rates with every raise bonus or windfall before lifestyle adjusts. This removes the most common excuse for failing to save. Later I deserve this. Effective savers decide in advance that future income belongs to future security. This single rule keeps saving relevant for decades, not just during struggle. Another major failure point is emotional spending during transitions. Job changes, moves, relationships. Stress and burnout often trigger spending spikes that undo months of progress. Financial books address this by emphasizing buffers. Emergency funds are not just for emergencies. They are emotional shock absorbers. When money surprises you, less spending reactions calm down. Your Money or Your Life shows that saving succeeds when it reduces anxiety, not when it increases restraint. Stability supports good behavior more reliably than motivation. Books that work also teach the importance of separating saving from identity battles. People often stop saving because they associate it with being cheap, boring, or deprived. This is why the psychology of money is so powerful. It reframes saving as a tool for independence, not self-denial. When saving is tied to freedom, time control, and peace of mind, it becomes something people protect proudly. Effective savers do not argue with themselves about spending every day. They have already decided who they are and what saving represents in their lives. Another crucial lesson is avoiding all-or-nothing thinking. Many people save well for a period, then abandon saving entirely after one mistake. Financial books repeatedly warn against this pattern. One overspend does not invalidate the system. One bad month does not erase progress. Saving works when behavior resumes quickly after disruption. Progress is not linear. Consistency over time beats perfection in the moment. The books teach self-forgiveness, paired with recommitment, which is essential for long-term success. As wealth grows effective, saving strategies also evolve into strategic allocation rather than simple accumulation. Saving is no longer just about building cash. It becomes about directing surplus toward investing debt reduction opportunity funds or flexibility. Books like The Intelligent Investor reinforce that idle cash beyond purpose can quietly lose value. The goal is not hoarding, but intentional deployment. Saving succeeds when every dollar has a role, not when money sits without direction. Perhaps the most overlooked lesson is that saving works best when it becomes boring. Excitement is the enemy of saving. When saving requires constant attention, willpower, or emotional effort, it eventually collapses. The books that work all converge on this idea: automate, simplify, and remove drama. The moment saving fades into the background of life, it becomes sustainable. What feels boring today becomes powerful over decades. When Part 1 and Part 2 are combined, a clear truth emerges. Saving money effectively is not about cutting harder or trying more. It is about designing a life where saving happens naturally as a byproduct of structure, values, and foresight. The books that succeed do not inspire temporary sacrifice. They build systems that survive success, stress, and time. And this is where the story ultimately lands. Saving money effectively is not a short-term challenge. It is a long-term relationship with yourself. The strategies that work are the ones that remove temptation scale, with income absorb shock, and align with identity. When saving is treated as protection rather than punishment, it stops feeling like something you have to do and starts feeling like something you would never give up because it quietly supports everything else you want to build in your financial life.